the longest WrestleMania of our lifetimes is in only 12 days. It won't be the best WrestleMania. It'll probably be actually a pretty crappy WrestleMania. I'm a little annoyed that they're even calling it WrestleMania, especially because they took it away from my hometown. This is not going to be great, but it's going to be the only sports/sports entertainment available. So welcome to DraftKings Nation. Here at DK Nation, welcome to our preview from 12 days away for WrestleMania, quote-unquote, 36, live from an industrial park off Colonial Drive in Orlando, Florida. My name is Collin Sherwin. I am the college sports editor and now interim wrestling editor at DraftKings Nation. Alongside me are two hardcore smarks, Cedric Padilla from Seattle and Nick Simon from where in Illinois?
I am in Rock Island, Illinois, in the beautiful Quad Cities.
It's the Quad Cities.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. And I disagree with your assessment. This show isn't. Listen, it's going to be weird. I mean, of course, with the coronavirus, it creates this weird dynamic where you can't do it necessarily in front of a live crowd. So it's not necessarily going to be like. It's obviously going to be different than anything we've ever seen before. But on paper, this isn't really a bad show. It's just the circumstances throws everything off.
But then don't call it Mania. Call it the Summer Blow-Off Spectacular. Call it something else. But don't call it when you're walking. The entrance ramp at WrestleMania at this point has like meme status, and now you're going to have people walk in like 20 feet from a locker room and whatever. No pyro, no entrances, no anything. And they're gonna walk right in. Okay, I have been fortunate enough. I live right on the circuit here, in where the NXT house shows are in Florida, where they all make the loop about once a month. And I will have seen better walkout entrances in community centers and gyms than you're going to see at WrestleMania. Then don't call it WrestleMania. Like, just back it up one. Go to LA next year. Call that one 36. Call whatever you're going to do in Vegas in 30. The next one, which is probably going to be in Vegas, 37. And then when you come back to Tampa, call that 38. This isn't that hard. Just don't call it WrestleMania. It really bothers me. We're going to do this in under 30 minutes, though, so let's not go too crazy. We are DraftKings. We're not here to provide great in-depth analysis of story arcs and things like that. We are about winners and losers, baby. Pick winners. Get ready for the DraftKings Picks contest that's going to be happening for Mania. Once all these matches are settled, we're going to give away real money. We have already given away $25,000 to people in a basketball contest. We gave away $10,000 at Shark Tank on Friday night. I don't know what the prize is going to be for Mania. I just know that there's going to be one. So come get some. Come get your cash. Sign up for an account at DraftKings.com. And, all right, guys, let's rock and roll. So I'm going in the order that we put these shows from our friend Andy Taylor, who may or may not be able to join us a little bit later. If Andy can get in, we'll add him to this show as well. Okay, so the first match we have on our card is The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus John Cena. You bring Cena back to let him lose? And is it the point in his career where he starts putting people over?
Yes.
Or do we just keep screwing over Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania? A tale as old as time. What are we doing?
For me, I think The Fiend is so over right now that he has to beat John Cena. John Cena is that part-time dude. He just comes in, sells a lot of T-shirts, he gets the crowd heads up, and then he falls. And then he falls over and he loses. And Fiend just takes that ramp up and keeps going.
Nick?
I agree. I think The Fiend has to go over here. It just wouldn't make sense, like just said, it wouldn't really make sense for Cena to just pop in, beat The Fiend, and then just leave for basically another year again. Also, I think Cena's at the point of his career where he understands he has to pay it back to the guys who are currently there to get them over. So again, Wyatt finally gets that rub at Mania that he should have gotten originally at WrestleMania 30 over Cena. He's going to win.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I mean, they cannot do this to Wyatt again. This is insane. He's such a freaking talent. He's probably the most misbooked character of the last 15 years, maybe, possibly. And he just deserves so much better. I think, although there won't be any fans there to riot, so who knows what Vince wants to do. So it's not like they're going to start a riot. In fact, it's possible the show's already been taped anyway, but we'll deal with that later. Let's assume that they haven't done it yet. So I think you got to go with Wyatt here. If LOL Cena wins happens again, just watch it. Okay, so Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship. Charlotte coming back and fighting in NXT is awesome. Rhea Ripley is super talent. Like, she's real. The women, the women are just better than the men at this point. I don't think that's like saying anything that's too crazy. But she's fantastic. But are they going to put the rocket on her this quickly, Cedric?
No, I think Charlotte wins this. I think she's still like a bright star within WWE Women's Division, and I think it's going to be some sort of crazy finish, though, to not bury Rhea at all. How about you, Nick?
I actually think the opposite. I think that they really see a lot in Rhea. I mean, go back to a couple of months ago for that entire Survivor Series weekend was built all around Rhea. She got wins over Charlotte on SmackDown. I think she beat Sasha or Bayley or one of those two on another episode. Survivor in the War Games match, and then the Survivor in the Survivor Series match. Like, they've been really high on Rhea for the past couple of months, and I just think that this that they specifically put her in this spot to showcase her and establish that, hey, this is going to be our next star. The only thing is, it's going to be weird without that fan reaction, But I still think that they're going to go through and put her over.
See, and I think that's why they don't. I think that's why they don't put her over at WrestleMania, is because there isn't the crowd there to get her over. Right, True. It's just going to be a weird victory if Rhea does win, and it's going to be hard to explain.
I kind of lean schmaz here. I just think, like, maybe you schmaz this and you make this the main event at SummerSlam. If there is a SummerSlam. But I don't know. I just can't see Charlotte losing to what's Rhea? She's only like 22, right? She's a baby.
She's a young
something super young, yeah.
Super young, super talented. She's really, really good. But it might just be almost a little too much too soon. And Flair's the biggest women's wrestling star ever, and it's not close. So maybe a little too soon. I don't know. But again, I also don't see this is not going to be a squash. Like, they're not gonna bury Rhea at all. So I don't know what they do. I'm gonna lean Charlotte, if only because I don't think Rhea stands tall with the belt. And to win at DraftKings, you got to stand tall with the belt. And so if they go schmaz or whatever, that would lean Charlotte. So I'm gonna lean Charlotte here as well. All right, the women's six pack: Bayley, Lacey Evans, Dana Brooke, Tamina, Naomi, and Sasha. Can we just cut the other four out and just get to the Bayley and Sasha at the end? Can we just we can cut 20 minutes out of Mania. We don't need 2 nights for this, but we know what's going to happen. It's going to be Bayley and Sasha at the end, I think, at least. And we're going to try and reenact NXT Brooklyn, which may be the best match I ever saw. So that's my thought. And then I think they go with Sasha. Never really had the ultimate Mania thing. So I'm going with Sasha here. It might be hard overhead, but that's where I'm picking. Cedric.
Definitely Bayley. Just fast forward to the final two there, and I think Bayley puts over, and they just have another long 3 or 4 pay-per-view battle like they've had in the past, where it just kind of keeps going.
I'm going to go a wild card here. I'm going to go Naomi.
Whoa!
Yes. You paid attention to SmackDown since when she came back to the Royal Rumble, and that crowd really popped for her. I think if you're going to do Sasha Bayley, that needs its own time. You need time to build that instead of just kind of putting it at the end of a 6-pack, in just my opinion. So I think that they're going to give Naomi her moment here. Again, it's technically like in her hometown, Orlando. You give her a short title run. I mean, hell, who knows what's going to happen after Mania. But then you give her a short title run, then you put the belt back on Bayley, and then that's where you transition later on into Bayley Sasha. So I think that they just go out of left field, go with Naomi, and then let her have her moment.
So this also makes me extra sad because at the WrestleMania press conference at Raymond James Stadium, when they announced, I was there and interviewed Bayley and Sasha. They could not have been nicer. I also interviewed Charlotte that day, Roman, a few other people. Just like, and now the fact that that's not even happening just makes me so angry.
Yeah.
Let's just move on. Okay, I'm still mad. Taker AJ. I mean, we're like 25-1 at this point, right? 24.
No, AJ versus Mark Calloway.
AJ versus Mark Calloway. Yeah.
Is Gangster Undertaker coming back, or is it going to be him? Just based upon his last Raw, he came out without his Undertaker gear on. He just came out, right? Is that what is going to happen?
He just came out. I have no idea which version of Mark, Taker, Biker, whatever, coming out.
Is he going to be on a Lark scooter? I mean, it is in Orlando. I mean, like, he could just, like, roll down the ramp at this point. Look,
Put him on a Segway.
Put him on the Dong, and then hear the little motorized scooter coming down the ramp. Yeah, I can't with this. Look, I am the biggest Taker hater probably in WWE history. I'm not gonna lie. He's clearly a talent, clearly respected. I respect him, but like, dude, you're an AARP member. It's time, and it's kind of ridiculous that he's still like doing this. Can't move. Are they gonna drag Michelle McCool out here and have her like super kick Gallows or Anderson during the match or something? I think that's like the thing that I find possibly the most interesting. Otherwise, Taker's gonna win. I'm gonna be mad. Anyone else? Anybody agree?
Yeah, it's Taker. I don't think this match is gonna be great because AJ Styles is low key washed as well. If you paid attention to the past like 2 years or so, he's slowing down too. So I don't know, man. It's just not. He's beaten up. Like I can't see them like putting AJ over Taker at Mania, even though Taker's like lost twice at this point at Mania. Like they're just gonna have him go over here.
So the thing that's so frustrating is like that's the one good thing that might come out of coronavirus in terms of wrestling at least is that maybe the WWE will realize that having these guys fight 4 and 5 nights a week and doing this crazy stuff at house shows probably isn't good because you look at what happened to AJ Styles when he came out for that first Royal Rumble and they announced him, the crowd went nuts and he still had all of his 100% of AJ. It was like that guy was amazing. They beat the crap out of him, and it's not fair to him. And his poor body, he just can't move like he used to. But then again, how many times, if they're going to tape delay WrestleMania, are they going to have Calloway get up on the top rope and walk? Cut, do it again. He fell off again. I'm sorry, just cannot even. All right, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Seth, again, not the world's. I'm a huge Kevin mark. I think Kevin is one of the most talented, best overall performers I've ever seen, at any level of wrestling. The guy's unbelievable. But Rollins cut a hell of a promo tonight. That was really good, especially in front of
it was
no crowd, no anything. Like that's a tough spot to be in. He was really, really good. I'm gonna lean KO here just because they can have Rollins lose and he doesn't lose anything. And they can sort of put Kevin over just a smidge, but I don't have a real strong opinion here one way or the other, and I could go either way. So I lean Kevin, but not hard.
I think they need some good guys on Raw, so I think they're going to put Kevin over, and he's going to win.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in agreement here. It's Kevin. It's been impressive with this feud because it's been a slow building feud. And the one thing is that they haven't done a one-on-one with these two guys in that period of time. Like, in today's WWE, they hotshot everything. Like, you see guys fight each other in matches all the time, but for some reason, for this particular feud, they've held off on this match for as long as they did, and that's pretty impressive. So I think that they've been saving this up for Kevin to get his WrestleMania moment here. So, yeah, it's going to be Kevin.
Yeah. So we will go with Kevin. We are all in agreement there. Next, Roman versus Goldberg for the WWE Championship. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Okay. Goldberg just lost. So that is over. Let's just move on. There's 0.0% chance here Roman ever goes out on his, ever loses this match in the history of ever, right?
They never should have had this match to begin with. I think the only reason why they put the belt on the only reason why they put the belt on Goldberg in Saudi Arabia is just so he can give it to Roman Reigns.
Right. And also because Bill Goldberg was willing to take a check from a corrupt, awful government that kills journalists, and nobody else wanted to go. So if you're willing to go over there and take the check, that means you got to drop the strap.
But here's the swerve: would no one there to see Reigns take the belt? Do you keep it on Goldberg in some really shady finish, just so you can wait for the pop, whether at the next big pay-per-view? That's the only reason I would think that Roman Reigns loses.
Is that pay-per-view in Philadelphia?
Maybe.
Because if it's in Philadelphia, I would suggest they don't do that. Nick?
Listen, it's gonna be. You know what? I'm looking forward to this, because if there's one thing in Goldberg's second, the second coming of Goldberg in the WWE, is that he's really good when his matches are fast.
Yes.
Just 5-minute sprints. If they just stick to it and just, hey, you get 5 minutes, just go, it's going to be spectacular. But like you guys said, there's no reason for Bill to walk out still the champion here.
Fair enough.
SmackDown needs that top guy, and it's long overdue for Reigns to kind of be that guy again.
Georgia Tech over Georgia for the first time in a long time. Going with Roman Reigns. Becky versus Shayna, man. Okay, you could have. Becky has been what she has done for women's wrestling. I would say she's probably done more for the division than Charlotte has, even though I think Charlotte's probably the more talented. But just what Becky has done to bring women's wrestling to a more mainstream audience, I think is probably a little bit wider. The man stuff, she's hilarious on social. She's fantastic in the ring. I'll give her all that. When Shayna did what she did at Elimination Chamber, they don't do that for somebody that they're not going to push to the moon.
Yeah.
You don't
Sure.
beat everybody in the chamber unless you're going to go to the moon. This one's really tough. I'm gonna go Shayna, but it's, again, I could be talked in either way here.
So for me, here's a hot take. I'm done with Becky Lynch and her shtick.
Wow.
It's just overdone.
What?
No. It's just, it's pandering. It's whatever. And I just want something different. And Shayna Baszler is that effing difference. She's I'm picking her all together, and I'm done with the red hair. That big 18-wheeler truck that came out. Oh my God. I'm so over that. I'm done.
Over the man.
Yeah.
Over the man. So Becky was one of those first NXT superstars when we started going to the house shows here in Tampa that we saw, and we were like, that she's really good. I don't know if anybody's ever gonna figure out, but she's really, really good.
Don't get me wrong. She's really good.
I might be rooting for her a little bit too hard, just because having seen her from the kid who barely could tie her shoes to all the way to what she is now, amazing. So maybe I'm rooting a little too hard, but my God, I am not over Becky. I get over stuff as quickly as anybody, but I'm not over Becky. Nick, you're the tiebreaker here.
I'm gonna go Shayna, and this may be a hot take. I think this is a squash. I think that they're gonna have squash Becky, because the story that they've been telling, is that Becky is overconfident. She's beaten everyone. And her last obstacle she had to climb, or her last mountain she had to climb, was Asuka. And she did that. She beat Asuka multiple times. So now she's walking around, I've been the Raw Women's Champion for a year. I've beaten everyone. Nobody can touch me. And then here you have this absolute monster that's come out of nowhere, literally bit her neck, literally eliminated everyone in the Elimination Chamber. And I don't think it's quite registered in Becky's mind what she has coming to her. And it's going to blindside her hard. So I think Shayna goes over here hard. It's going to be a squash, maybe like less than 5 minutes or something. It's just going to be brutality. That's what I think. And the thing is, she's already a heel, so you don't really have to worry about like crowd reaction, kind of like what we were talking about with Rhea and Charlotte earlier.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what I think. Yeah.
I like your angle too. Like if they're gonna do it, just squash her. Just like drag her, all over the ring. Like let's do it that way. I'm with you. If they go that route, I would love to see it be a squash, because then what they do from that, they could go multiple different directions. Does Becky end up having to team up with somebody to put a stable together, try and take her down that way? Like, because Shayna, Ronda's not really around right now, although there were some rumors that Ronda might be coming back. So we'll see. But if Shayna alone against a stable, maybe that makes it a little more interesting. Okay, Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar for the strap. Man, I'm going McIntyre. You know what? I think even Vince has run his course with Bork Laser at this point. The private flights are costing too much money.
But here's the thing, though. Again, without the crowd, do you save it? Do you save it for the next big pop? And that's the only thing that's making me think Brock wins this.
But then why are we calling this WrestleMania? If we have to save things for the pop, then don't call it WrestleMania.
But it's all about the marketing, yeah? Like they spent a whole year handling this as WrestleMania, and now you don't? Anyways.
I'm sure there are sponsors agreements here that they bought sponsorship time on WrestleMania, so they have to keep the brand WrestleMania. I'm sure there's something like that to it. It's just really frustrating. So you say save it? You say Brock wins?
I say Brock
save McIntyre?
Wins. Yep.
Brock wins and save McIntyre? Okay. Nick?
Yeah, I've gone back and forth about this for the past week. I kind of like Rhea. I think they just go through with it and give Drew his moment, because if not now, then because the thing is, it could backfire if you do save it a couple, like say you save it for SummerSlam or whenever. By then, maybe people don't care anymore. Maybe people are kind of over McIntyre. They want somebody else. So
sure,
if you just bite the bullet and go through with it. So McIntyre.
That's fair.
Gotcha. Okay. Last ones that we're adding on here. We have sort of done this a smidge out of order, and we have a few minutes left. Raw Tag Team Championship, Street Profits, who are terrific, by the way. Those guys are great. Andrade and Angel Garza. I think Street Profits go over because Mad Selena Vega is fantastic. Selena Vega, she's really good, and I think the push for the Street Profits goes a little bit further. So I say they win. I say they retain.
I agree.
Profits because, one, they're over, and number two, if you do put McIntyre over Brock, Andrade is one of his first challengers. Right there.
Oh,
tie
yeah.
him up
Okay.
with the tag titles, yes. So Profits, they're going to keep it going. They're really high on them. Paul Heyman's really high on those guys. He's going to use them well. Definitely.
Yeah. All right, we're going Profits. Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley because reasons? I don't know.
Reasons?
Hey, get in the ring. You're big. Go fight each other. No build, no anything, whatever. I think we're at the point where Aleister Black is the rising star, and Bobby Lashley has been the descending star ever since he went through a scoreboard at Raw as soon as Heyman took over. What was that, like 7 months ago, something like that?
Something like that.
Something like that. It's been a while. So I'm going to go Aleister Black just because reasons, which is the same reason that this match is happening in the first place.
Agreed.
Yeah, for sure, Black. There's no reason to have him take a loss in probably the biggest match of his career up to this point.
Yep.
And he's really good too. That guy's really talented. Edge and Randy Orton, last man standing. WrestleMania history is that Edge came back to get a check, he get his butt kicked. I'm going with Randy for those reasons. Look, I'm Randy. It's Randy Orton. Like, he is what he is at this point. I mean, have we ever seen anything from Randy Orton where we go, wow, that's really surprising, that's really good? Have we ever seen anything from Randy Orton where we go, wow, that sucked?
No.
You know what I mean? He's just sort of there. You know, he's a Hall of Famer, amazing guy, like amazing sports entertainer. But this is the spot where if you're the guy who comes back out of retirement, you're 50 years old, you probably got to go down. So,
see,
agree?
I'm taking a different take. No, I'm going for Edge. This is the fight. This is the match that attracts all of the people our age who adored Edge and Christian back in the 2000s. And if you want to keep Edge around for a few more years, you let him win this, and he becomes that special attraction. He becomes the next John Cena, just at a mid-card level.
Mid-card John Cena, that's pretty good.
I totally agree here. I think
wow.
Because I mean, I think Edge, because you have to have, like, after all the stuff, the story you're telling, after all the stuff Orton did to him, did to Beth, you have to put him over here.
Yeah.
Because it would just be too much for him to, and when the wife gets involved too, and, a couple of WWE Hall of Famers here, maybe. It just, I don't know. And maybe Randy's ready to lay down at this point, 20-some years in the business. Like,
he's laid down for a lot of people, though. Like, it's nothing new. This is what he does.
But he's not putting over, new talent. Yeah, but he's not putting over new talent at this point. Like, if you're putting over, Aleister Black, okay. You know what I mean? Like, he's a young guy on the rise. That totally makes sense.
Yeah, but
going over for a
Edge
guy who's been in the ring in 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. You got to put him over. You got to get him back up there. You got to make his star shine brighter, or more than it already is. And how do you do that? Have Randy Orton put him over.
Okay. All right, I see it. Intercontinental Championship, Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan. Come on. Sammy. WrestleMania moment. It's time. Keeps the belt.
I think it's his. I think it's Sammy. Daniel Bryan is also on the decline of his career. Right. And I just don't think he can sustain another championship belt, even if it's mid-card.
And Daniel Bryan had one of the greatest WrestleMania moments of all time, and it's time to give one to somebody else. Yeah.
Daniel, it's insane. Daniel's in that phase of his career where he's working like hell specifically to make people look good at this point. I mean, you look at that masterpiece he did a couple weeks ago with Drew Gulak.
Yep.
And see, he gets it. He understands, like, if I'm gonna still be around, like, I need to make these guys look like $1 million. And plus, I think I've heard stuff over the past couple of weeks about how Brian's gonna transition into like a more part-time role moving forward, which he should. So he's gonna give Zayn his moment here, and it's gonna be a hell of a match. This match may low-key steal the show.
This could be. These guys can go. Yeah, these guys can work. These are two of the best, ever in WWE to work. It's almost sucks that the crowd's not going to be able to see it, but I think it's Zayn. And then for some reason, Elias versus King Corbin. King Corbin is still a WWE superstar. Yes. Yep. And it's I feel bad for the guy because he's talented. Apparently works hard. Everybody apparently likes him. But just misbooked, and they never repackaged correctly. They never did what it took to get him over. And Elias is hilarious. But
really? I think they both suck.
I think Elias is good. I'm a fan.
Okay.
You know what? It's fine.
That's another shtick that I'm just over with. Like, okay, great. He plays guitar, then he plays shitty tunes, and whatever. All right,
Okay.
move on.
Okay.
You haven't
Yeah,
won
with
with
Elias,
it. Why are you still doing it?
Like the character of Elias is great. It's just like in the ring, just completely forgettable. They've invested too much into the Corbin character to like have him lose here, especially considering all the losses he took to Reigns over the past 37 months they feuded. So yeah, they're gonna give Corbin his win back here. Doesn't hurt Elias at all. Again, Elias, he'll always be there.
Elias is mid-card talent personified at this point. That's just what he is.
Yeah.
So,
Elias is the Santino Marella of today.
He's better than Santino Marella. He's better. He's better. He gets a better pump.
Comedic character. Comedic character.
Good comp.
It's pretty good. It's not a bad comp. I've heard worse. That's for sure. Okay, so that's good. All right, we have exactly hit our time. Guys, before we get out of here, one last thing. Give me one surprise thing that we are not expecting to happen at WrestleMania. Nick, you first.
One surprise thing that we are not expecting to happen. Okay, I need a second. That blindsided me. I need a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass it to Ced.
Braun Strowman finds his way into the Intercontinental match and wins it. That's my take.
I like it. Mr. Strowman needs to possibly stop saying dumb stuff on social media because I think that's the only reason that he is not on the moon right now. I think his challenges to work with and some of the things he does away from the ring are the only thing stopping him from being probably the biggest superstar in the company right now, which is a shame because the build for him was like nothing I've ever seen. It was unbelievable. So, Nick, you got one yet?
Did you get one yet? Because I got another one.
I got one. I think tomorrow they're going to announce Gargano Ciampa as part of the 2-night thing because they canceled Takeover. They're still that's really the only match right now if you've been watching NXT where they're laser focused on blowing that off. So I think that they're gonna add that match as well.
I will watch Gargano Ciampa until I am dead. I will watch Bayley and Sasha. If they want to fight 200 times, I'll watch it 200 times. And if Gargano and Ciampa want to fight 200 times, I'll watch it 200. Yeah. Cedric, what was your other one?
I was wondering, did we not talk about Alexa Bliss? Does she not have a match?
Alexa Bliss is not on the card as of now.
It's not Kabuki?
Unless I'm missing it.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been Alexa and Nikki against Kabuki.
I am not seeing it on
That's right. They don't have a match.
Well,
wow.
There's my shocker. They're going to end up with a surprise match before the card's said and done. And I think Alexa and Nikki win the belt off of Kabuki. I think you need to do something with that women's tag belt. And maybe at least it's just sitting there, not doing anything right now.
I got one that's not probably too much of a shocker, but I think it's going to happen. Rob Gronkowski wins the 24/7 belt at some point during Mania. Okay.
Yes.
We are good here. We will probably try and do one more of these as we get closer to the biggest night in sports entertainment, the Showcase of the Immortals in a industrial park in East Orlando, Florida, in front of friends and family and camera crews standing 6 feet apart from each other. Yeah. Hey, this is great. But yeah, thanks for coming to our quote WrestleMania end quote preview. We will see you guys hopefully on DK Nation and as well getting involved at DraftKings. But yeah, it's Mania time. Let's enjoy the push. RIP to all the independent promoters who are getting their deposits back in Tampa. Sorry to the Cuban Club that you probably lost out on a ton of revenue, as well as like the Ford Amphitheater and Sundome and all of our other venues here. I think there were 40-some shows booked that are now not going to happen, which is just devastating for the local economy here, as if because we really could have used that right now, of course. But yeah, this was the right decision. It had to happen. It sucks that it's happening this way. Just don't call it Mania. It's not hard. Just don't call it Mania. All right. We're done. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
See ya.